stole the steal.
That was actually so exciting. 2 good choices by them. Crumbs, nothing he could do about it, though.
Nope. I mean, he still made the right choice, though, right? Crumbs played optimally aside from picking the wrong briefcase. Like, imagine the guy just took FlyQuest from the start and then wrote it out.
And aside from not getting as many points as Mark in the round previous.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if he was a better player, it would have went a lot better. But you know,
same for me though. We got kicked out in the first round.
You didn't think of Teemo being the most annoying champion in League of Legends?
We weren't. We didn't. Well, I mean, they had more guesses on that one.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you had the chance to deliberate, and no one ever brought up Teemo. Like that to me is just it's.
Is Soraka not annoying?
Thing is, you got to think about this though. These are people who play solo queue at home.
True.
Soraka is mostly a bot lane support, and like, yeah, she's annoying-ish, but whatever. Teemo is actually a common pick up at home solo queue. Anyway, we got a game going. Cloud9 and FlyQuest, the 2 top teams of the split. No team has ever gone undefeated in the LCS, and Cloud9 are more than halfway there. FlyQuest, though, said, hey, Dignitas, you and me, we're going to take them down this weekend.
Incredibly excited for this matchup here. FlyQuest have been climbing up the ranks, a lot due to PowerOfEvil, a lot due to IgNar. So supports as well as mid lane. Choice is going to be super important. Pretty standard ban so far from their side. No FLS Ornn right off the bat. Don't want to let those through. And the most annoying champ, as voted by the audience, Yuumi, also banned away.
Definitely a strong enchanter support, and Set, number 3 in that list, is picked up right away.
So yeah, Set really popular for blind picking for top side and can be flexed into the jungle, which I think will be key here for Cloud9. But so many top laners I talked to really like the Aatrox side of the Set matchup because of the control that you get, you know, with your range and with your Umbral dash. So that's the immediate answer here from FlyQuest. No big surprise.
All right, Zven right now hovering the Ezreal. He has not yet played this year. Put a lot of games on it back when he was on TSM, the last 2. And Tahm Kench goes alongside it. Very quick lock in here to the bottom lane. That TK partially a steal away from Varus. Let's see if FlyQuest can get another bot lane win here. It is the Blitz crank.
Oh, IgNar, baby! Woo! Definitely a classic for him. See what kind of engages he can get. The bottom lane itself, definitely difficult, you know, to pull Ezreal in, of course, because of Arcane Shift.
Yeah.
But Tahm Kench is a viable target if they decide to have jungler come on down. And junglers are the ones being banned out right now, as neither team really has a definite jungler. Cloud9, as we talked about, could flex the set there, though.
Sure, definitely a possibility here. Keep in mind, we are on 10.4. We are on a new patch. Cinderhulk is very strong. Sunfire Cape is very strong. If Set and Aatrox go top lane, they're not buying it, obviously, but this is the one where people are expecting jungle tanks to come through. I'm thinking we get one Amumu this weekend.
I'm thinking you're wrong.
That's
but
fair.
We are also getting some bans here targeted at PowerOfEvil. We talked about how big of a part of FlyQuest he is. The Corki was such a big champion for them last week. He dealt out a tremendous amount of damage, was able to win them that team fight around Baron. So good ban there by Cloud9. No more junglers here from FlyQuest, just trying to whittle down that pool. And I expect another actually PoE focused ban here because FlyQuest can keep that mid lane pick until last and wait for counter.
Yeah, Syndra, Victor, Rumble, stuff like that. A lot of good mid laners out there. Zoe, yeah.
These are all PoE type champions.
Yeah.
When people kind of classify him as a player, they're not looking at things that are like LeBlanc. Kiana is banned out here. Kiana, by the way, I did a lot of looking at stats overall.
Yeah.
Overall, winningest champion in the LCS. All time.
Win rate?
Oh, yeah, all time and right now for this split.
Yeah.
Oh, Lee Sin here picked up real quick for Santorin.
All right, no Cinderhulks here on this side. No Sunfire Capes and FlyQuest whatsoever. The buffs don't matter to them. Meanwhile, Gragas will come alongside on the other side here. But a very, for FlyQuest, normal-looking draft. The Riven continually banned away. Viper never gets to play that champion. But at least for Santorin's going to look good.
Cloud9, you always look at their mid and jungle combinations. They do have to blind their mid right now for Nisqy, so that makes it a little bit more difficult. But with the AP locking here for Gragas, it does open up some possibilities here for Nisqy going AD. I'd still expect an AP threat form in the mid lane, though, because it will be easier to blind those.
Definitely agree. Zoe's a pretty standard choice here for this one, as the champ will get locked in. And we'll see now what PoE wants to play against him.
Let's see. Still has quite a few options. The Syndra is still available.
Yeah.
LeBlanc also still available. I didn't like how they played with it when he did have LeBlanc when he was on TLG, though. He is also known for other long-range mages, but there's a Syndra that we mentioned.
Most
the
played champ of the year. Most played champ of the year. Pick number 4 now comes in for this one. PoE. I think he was a huge factor on his Syndra games before this champion's actually winning a lot this split as well. 5-1, I think, overall, something to that effect. And should look pretty good as the time ticks down. We get to see that there's no obvious swaps coming through. Set versus Aatrox at the top, playing very much as expected. And the question is, can FlyQuest step up to Cloud9's level?
And honestly, first step there is it's a fairly balanced draft here for these two teams. So I think they're heading onto the Rift with a decent chance here. Yeah. Nobody with any hard inting here. Nobody with any massive outscale either.
We'll say there's not a ton of amazing targets, right? Set's really durable as you get away, so sometimes the Blitzcrank hooks can be difficult. We know Tom Kench likes to be picked into Syndra, and that was actually the blind TK. Syndra came afterwards, so you can save a teammate from that ultimate. There's definitely some good tools on the C9 side, but I think there's some really good team fighting on FlyQuest here as well. Going to be excited to watch what happens here. Let's take one more look at the lineups.
Also remember, IgNar has the lowest duo proximity of all supports in the LCS. That means he roams the most. So definitely look for this Blitzcrank to go get pulls on other lanes, try and burn summoner spells for the rest of the team.
Yeah. And Zoe's attackable, right? No innate escape. You can absolutely go after that lane. I'm looking to see the Blitzcrank come into mid pretty early on. We're here for the trees. See if they can do it. FlyQuest have done a very good job for themselves this year. Alone in second place is a great return to form. People are happy about Mother Nature. All the above. PoE has planted the most this season as he is the kill leader on FlyQuest. Let's get in the game. Cloud9 versus FlyQuest.
Cloud9 have absolutely been on a tear this split. 10-0 so far. Fastest game time. Highest KDAs, best stats across the board for this team.
All right, well, we got to check in with Avali, standing by with Coach Curry.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Curry, and we have got the FlyQuest chance behind us. Big match for you going against #1 team Cloud9. Tell me, how do you prepare these players for a match like this?
Honestly, preparation isn't too much different from what we normally do. C9, they're just another team. We just make sure that we have the drafts that we want and the drafts that we want to play, and that we're just ready to go.
Sure, they're another team, but they're the #1 team on top of the ranking, so there has to be something that added into that preparation.
I think just more than anything, we just make sure that we're just not scared. I think when you play against the other teams, we really confident in playing them. So maybe against C9, there might be a little more hesitation because they're so decisive. So just making sure that our confidence is there. But I think as a team, we're really confident in ourselves and our playstyle, so we're ready to go.
Keep that confidence up. Thank you, and best of luck to you. Back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Avali, and thank you, Curry, for the words as well. Stay confident, don't be afraid. Cloud9, so good in the early game, though, have absolutely been smashing North America this year with early pressure, kind of across the board.
Don't think they have any sort of innate advantage as far as the champions going for these early duels either, so FlyQuest should have a decent amount of time to get set up. Gragas here, doing bottom side clear, red buff into Krugs, keeping his options open as far as where to go. Probably not going to focus on ganking for an Ezreal, Tom Kench. Vulcan and Zven moving up very quickly, though.
Vulcan happy to tank a hook if there is going to be one. There's the pull in, but they're going to just walk over to WildTurtle. That is a 2v1 that the Blitzcrank can't help with very much. Trade looks fine for Cloud9. Turtle down about 100-something health.
All right, we also have a top-down clear for Santorin, heading towards that half of the map. Lee Sin off of red Raptors. Try and get to his level 3. Let's see what his options are going for. PowerOfEvil also taking the cleanse here in the mid lane versus Zoe for Syndra in case he does fall prey to a poor bubble. That Gragas combination can definitely do wonders, and Nisqy grabbing the Proto Belt first pickup.
Viper and Licorice doing battle up here. There's a bit more CS weapon to grab. Should be pretty close in farm, but Licorice temporarily down in health. Keep in mind, Set has very high health regen, so it's not going to be much of a big deal.
All right, as far as what they want to do in the early game here for FlyQuest too, I definitely want to try and play off this Blitzcrank, get some bottom
What if he
lane.
stole this, though? He has Smite! He has Smite! He can take the blue! Zoe was only #5 most annoying champion. Shame on you, League community.
Super annoying, especially for junglers. Nisqy gets the burst damage there. I mean, honestly, what do you do against the Zoe Q with Smite burst damage?
You also have Smite. Just also press the button.
Well, you have to time it exactly with his Q. It's definitely advantage to the Zoe here.
I agree.
He wants some revenge though, freak.
Oh, he's gonna have revenge. It's on his academy team. And Nisqy just prancing around in the water like nothing's wrong.
Little slap there. Slap on the ground from Santorin. Because bottom lane has priority though, you can see the move up to the river. They're gonna secure Scuttle Crab here for Blaber for Cloud9.
Oh, look at that. Look at this teamwork. Wow, 10 gold share for both of them. Beautifully done with the sweeper by Blaber. Nice last hitting there for Vulcan. 4 CS on the board as the Scuttle goes over.
Big thing about this invade too is that we're looking at possibly trying to make something happen in the bottom lane off of this Blitzcrank that has Ignite. You know, trying to get a kill onto Vulcan on the Tahm Kench is a possibility if you get the Lee Sin gank down bottom side, because Vulcan's been positioning very aggressively, far up, and they could try and pull something in. But because of the invade, with the extra wards down there, Santorin has to go top instead.
That is the first knock up. That's going to be decent damage. Good flash gets away. The flash follow. That's going to be a ton of crowd control, and he doesn't have the damage. That's first blood coming through for Santorin. Nisqy on the way over, going for the bubble. Nice side step by Viper. They're going to get away with it.
Another roam here from Nisqy, but can't get there in time, and FlyQuest strike first. First blood. I mean, when they had their big rise last year in spring, FlyQuest, top 4 team, Santorin was playing really, really well, and he's back out there getting an early conversion for the team. That being said, Blaber on Gragas, hard farming, and it does have a level lead, plus has been able to go back for the Predator boost. So after we get out of this replay, you have to keep your eyes on the Gragas. Santorin here flashes in for the level 3, gets his slowdown critically first, so he does not get the Q dodge. Sometimes these people just throw out the Sonic Wave, but needs to guarantee the kill there. And they had to guarantee it quick because of the roam from Nisqy that was called from PowerOfEvil. So some good communication and presence of mind there. FlyQuest thinking about their timing on their gank. As we said, though, keep your eyes on Blaber. He's gotten the level 5 on Gragas, went back for his Predator Boots recall, and offensively blown flashes can be punished just as effectively here. Viper and Santorin both flashing forward to try and get that kill. Blaber wants to make him pay.
Ooh, he knows where he is. That's a body slam. Nisqy's on the way over as well. Viper is flashless and shouldn't have any good escapes. Nisqy burns the flash for the damage. Ult over the top. Cloud9 want revenge, and they will get it.
Good job there. Just talk about punishing that flash. They do so, Santorin, because they reveal themselves on the top side, though, trying to start up this objective. See if they can actually get anything finished up here. Dragon does take quite a while for Mountain. Nisqy's roaming back down. Vulcan's heading over to ward it at the moment.
He's spotted now by Santorin's ward and actually just blast cones away. So this is going to be a clean pickup there. Control to the pit. Huey helps to make sure, and well, FlyQuest get away with first blood, and they get the first Mountain Drake here as well. Small gold deficit from farm, but a good early game here for FlyQuest.
Also, because of the ramifications of that top lane counter here, you know, pushing the wave in for Licorice on the set, definitely right back on his feet, feeling very nice about the current state of topside. Set, especially for the early stages here, with the Bramble Vest trying to get some healing reduction on Aatrox very early in the game. Does solidify this area of the map for them. And now we got to keep our eyes on Nisqy. You can see how much they're investing into the wards in the river on top side to allow him these possible roams. He keeps on pushing in mid lane. He's not losing out on a tremendous amount of CS to go for this, because he's able to get PowerOfEvil at his tower first. Syndra, though, gets a big spike on level 6 as far as the 1v1. No stun is a little early. You can tell what he's going for there.
But IgNar's now here. Nice sidestep by Nisqy. IgNar could have kept walking straight forward and gone for the E. Didn't go for that one, though, as Nisqy comes back alive and up in health.
So PowerOfEvil there. You go for the Syndra stun on where Zoe started her R from. Not able to get the stun means that they're not going to be able to get anything out of that gank, because Nisqy, really nice footwork, dodging all the follow-up damage as well. No hook landing, no Qs landing. Just such a confident mid laner here. And that's kind of something that FlyQuest themselves talked about in the interview, how big that is going to be in playing against Cloud9.
Well, right now, FlyQuest are down about 500 gold. And that's despite the extra 150 from a first blood coming through. So kudos to the laning phase of Cloud9 so far. You've got about a 2-camp lead for Blaber and 15 CS for Licorice, kind of paying that off. And we'll see if FlyQuest can get more done. Of course, Mountain Drake is useful, but early game gold value, I would say not at 500 just yet.
Yeah, I like how Licorice is playing this too, because we mentioned, oh yeah, your early Bramble Vest, and with the extra CS he was able to get off of that counter kill on Viper, turn it into a nice lead for him. You don't get to solo kill the Aatrox unless the Aatrox chooses to make a mistake, right? If he goes too aggressive on you, overcommits on the set, you know, he's applying the Bramble Vest Grievous Wounds to himself, he's getting baited in by the W, but it does allow you to go for the cull, and you can basically cash in on extra priority, extra money that way, without having to try and earn yourself a solo kill, which would have to come at the cost of your opponent choosing to do something there.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out with people buying Cole is, obviously it has stats on it, right? It's attack damage, life on hit, like it's actually a good landing item in and of itself. But if you run all the money, you sell it back, you profit 180 gold. Now that's fine, that is a decent amount of money, but a lot of people I think consider Cole, oh, it's like 500 gold. It's like, well, it's 180, which is fine, but it's a wave and a half.
More than a turret plate.
It is more than a turret plate, you know? Like again, it's not zero, but it's not, I think, as high as some people kind of expect it to be.
Definitely true. All right, Blaber here. You can leash the Shelly this far, but you can't kill it that far out of the river. She will run out of patience and leash right back to it. Nisqy with the blue buff, though, trying to help him with the extra priority. Both solo lanes on top side, like we talked about, really secured for Cloud9 off of the follow-up play there. And they're trying to burn it down. Let's see if the roam from IgNar, both supports coming up. Actually, teleport not available for WildTurtle, so FlyQuest will be outnumbered. Because Turtle's in base right now, so it should be Cloud9's. Yep.
All right, off they go. Nicely picked up. Cloud9 get a sub 10-minute Rift Herald pickup. We know a turret plate's going to be crashed down before too long afterwards. Let's see where they want to go. A couple of recalls have come off in the bottom lane. Most of the Manamune in for Zven. Picked up the pickaxe. Tier is stacking. Sheen's already there. Decent out of spike for WildTurtle as well, who's come back to lane's upgraded boots.
I really like this focus from Cloud9 too on the objectives that are going to matter. They are running a pretty heavy poke composition with both Ezreal and Zoe.
They're up next. They're up next. Thank you. We have proven that the LCS audience can read. Let's go. Basic education. Woo! Woo! That's right. Cheer for literacy.
Back to the Cloud9 objective focus, though, with their Ezreal and their Zoe picks here, with the high amount of poke that they've indexed in with this champion select. If you can get those outer turrets down and get your vision moving in, it really helps so much when you have these type of compositions, because the thing that they have to worry about most is the hard engage from FlyQuest. That's flanks from Viper, which you are able to defensively ward against when the outer towers are gone, as well as like Blitzcrank trying to flash, grab a pull on somebody, force those engages that way. Otherwise, everybody knows why Zoe was on that list, freak, of one of the most annoying champions in the game, constantly throwing out those sleepy trouble bubbles to look for picks, constantly throwing the poke through with the paddle star. And there is that Rift Herald activation mid lane, trying to open up the map.
There will be some more money going in. Plates number 2 and 3 fall off. Decent money now throughout the mid lane. Nicely done there. Nisqy and Co get a 1,000 gold lead. Good damage and IgNar stun, but Vulcan is right there to make sure Nisqy lives long and prospers.
Yep, preemptively there. Make sure there's no possibility of the Syndra stuns coming out, the Blitzcrank hook. So, big chunk onto the tower. Fight over Scuttle Crab, though, on even terms.
Oh, and a fight in the mid lane. This is big damage. Nisqy heals early, stays alive, does not find that Q, but Cloud9, ready to keep going. Flash to the wall, flash, follow, ult backwards. Do they have the follow through? Yes, they do, but a hook will be a lot. Vulcan there to save, burns his flash for it, and a stopwatch. Ignores the back half of the Q. Drowsy coming in. This could be good damage. Nisqy can try to follow through. IgNar blocks it, puts in the ult. 5 HP, flashes away from Zven. Just barely getting away, but Cloud9 1-0.
Big skirmish freak, but bigger toll afterwards, because the Infernal Dragon is ready for Cloud9. They immediately move into the river and are going to be able to pick this one up. FlyQuest have to recall after not only losing their mid laner, but also taking big chunks of damage. Turtle could go for a Q steal here and try and be a hero, but it might put him in danger.
I think he would have to at least burn flash, maybe still die if he did go for it. They're not going to make the play. Easy pickup there for Blaber, spices it away and walks out. What a great fight. And an even better end for Cloud9.
Exactly. Infernal Dragon just makes your poke even stronger for the Zoe, for the Ezreal. Here's another look at it. That's what we talked about earlier for the Syndra. You aim your stun at where Zoe starts the R from. However, Cloud9 had the inside track from the fight over Scuttler to roam up first, and Blaber, with his Predator on, doesn't hesitate to flash, gets the combo, even though IgNar can land a hook. the main damage isn't here anymore. The Syndra's already been taken out, so IgNar and Santorin cannot win that fight under any circumstances. And then, since you land another bubble, a bunch of extra damage onto IgNar and Santorin afterwards, that's 2 more flashes, big chunks on health, and Cloud9 get yet another early lead for this season, eyeballing that 11-game record.
Looking good for it right now. You can see the 1,500 gold lead tied in Drake's as well. Nisqy burns the fake flash, knocks down the wave, feels pretty comfortable overall. FlyQuest make their way over to their own blue buff. Santorin says, I'm not going to blue the entire game, do I? First Nisqy takes one, then Fuey the other. I can't catch a break.
Yeah, I don't think Lee Sin feels too bad about it.
True. You're saying he's not feeling too blue?
Fair enough. You're saying that, but
That's
I
true.
will agree.
I wasn't... I'm glad we got the audience in the booing mood from the game show. This is good. We're following through. It's a through line.
Prepping for Freak.
Yeah. It's the warm-up.
All right, look at this invade, though. The nice little move here from FlyQuest. They're trying to get an area back on the map where they can try and make those plays. Deep warding for possible Blitzcrank pulls, roaming down through. They need to get this Syndra ultimate on somebody that's a high-value target, right? There's no more stopwatch on Blaber. You gotta try and look for some area of possibility. Blaber definitely now is a good and viable target. Level 9 Gragas, no stopwatch. Other areas to try and set up, you're looking at your summoners that have been burned on Vulcan. The Tahm Kench in the bottom side, it's an under-leveled support, even though he has a stopwatch and it's annoying to try and kill Tahm Kench through thick skin and stuff like that. Yeah. You do have a Blitzcrank there. Ignite is ready for IgNar. So those are 2 possible areas where FlyQuest could try and fight back into this, try and open up an extra champion advantage, which you can then turn into some objectives.
And that was a choice right there, a very narrow margin where Blaber was taking Scuttle Crab, and IgNar and Santorin were there waiting for it, but he just wasn't quite in range for the Blitzcrank hook. They couldn't quite go for the play. And Blaber kited away successfully, but that was very nearly a kill that could have opened up part of the map. Instead, we go back to a pretty standard holding pattern. And FlyQuest doing better than most teams in the early game, which is 2,000 gold down at 15 minutes. That is such a terrifying statistic. All right. We're improving. Wow, this game is over.
PoE is the target. It's a level 11 Syndra, so he's got the level 2 ultimate ready. Try and burst down one of these targets. And IgNar and Santorin are doing their best to fight this mid-fight, roaming through, trying to clear out the wards to work around him. But Cloud9 just overwhelming the midpoint of the map. And look how low that mid tower is, too. Once that thing knocks over, you really get that flood of pressure when C9 get to move in, start throwing the trouble bubbles over your own walls.
And quick wave through coming through into the mid lane. Nisqy needs to auto one more time. Nicely done. Gets rid of the wave with Luden's Echo, and we keep waiting around. Minute and a half until this next Drake spawns. Baron a bit farther than that. As top river's being fought for, IgNar gets that. Traded back though.
I actually think this is my favorite Blitzcrank skin with the beep, just because of the noise.
Yeah.
It can be terrifying when you play a Blitzcrank in lane a bunch.
Yeah.
So you become accustomed to that noise.
Ah, damn it, flash down.
Exactly. Then when he uses it to run away, not so much.
Yeah, then it's more comical. Well, Nisqy R into the turret. Doesn't land the shot, but autos it once. Chipping away, slowly but surely. Nice hook in onto Blaber. He is squishy. Ignite. Slow, that's the kick, that's the cue. The Warhops come in, but Santorin bit off more than he could chew. Goodbye, Oktoberfest will live as Blaber sets up for the Rift Herald.
Oh, you can tell. They're getting a little antsy here on the side of FlyQuest. When you know you're going up against Cloud9, you feel like it's happening again. They're taking control. What can we do? They overcommit to the kill. Nice stop there from Blaber, by the way, on Santorin. Knocks him up. Big burst comes through from Nisqy. And Santorin falls to the bait. 1 kill, 1 more objective, Freak, for Cloud9.
All right, it keeps going and it keeps going. FlyQuest cannot catch a break so far in this game. As you look at that fight again.
All right, so Blaber clearing the vision from their perspective, just walks up a little bit dangerous, but he knows he's got Vulcan and PowerOfEvil a little bit further away. So he flashes into his team, flashes into Vulcan for the Guardian as well, and Nisqy had plenty of burst damage upon arrival.
Yep, and then Blaber secures the kill. Says, hey, I baited him in. I deserve 300 gold. Thank you very much. I will press R now, and gets that one pretty securely.
Needs to fund his Zhonya's, Freak, so he can continue to make Blaber plays.
He wants to get him, definitely. I actually like the idea of going towards Merc Prez as well. He's not really... Oh, hold on. He's going to take some damage. Stopwatch, burn for Vulcan, but the squad is still around him. He's got to be a bit careful. Drowsy comes in. Could be some decent damage. A big chunk of IgNar going to stay alive, though. Vulcan does fit Nisqy back out. And then a flash to safety keeps him alive. Next poke. Oh, wow. Damage onto Santorin. Viper's at half HP as well. No sleep comes through just yet, but Nisqy looks for another one. Big damage at PoE. The flash forward. They catch Vulcan. That's going to be the kill. Santorin's on the board and Viper's into the back line. A lot of damage popped as the Rift Herald comes down for Blaber. And they're going to try to push this one down a little bit farther, but a 1-0 to FlyQuest. They did bring back IgNar.
The in-combat Herald Freak rarely sees strategy.
It's tanking the skill shots for him. Make sure they stay alive. It comes down. What a fight. 1-for-1. Both supports dead.
Big opening for FlyQuest, though. They need some sort of momentum for themselves. Two main members for C9 are down, trying to finish this one off. I doubt Blaber goes for a steal. Santorin going to pull it out just to make sure here, and FlyQuest will add another Drake to the count for themselves. Unfortunately, no Ocean Drakes will grace this Summoner's Rift, but they did get some kills, so they plant trees anyway.
Nicely done, as they've got a couple more. Once again, a lot of hooks for IgNar, finally set up the kills.
Right, so we talked about it. Tom Kench does have the stopwatch. Really good uses there at Voltage. He actually avoids the ultimate from WildTurtle. Then he still holds on to his flash. Here, a poke comes through from Nisqy, and you can see C9 trying to poke down members of FlyQuest before fully committing. Then Blaber goes in during that big chunk onto IgNar. Nisqy flashing forward on the Zoe gets dangerous. He has to sidestep that hook, but then it goes through and gets Vulcan. That's the extended Blitzcrank range after a few patches ago. So they gave him the bonus, and he actually ends up with a kill for FlyQuest. As we mentioned, Combat Herald activated. Shelly really trying to get into the action, but unable to make anything. And that's a 2-for-1 for FlyQuest as they take down the second Herald without losing their mid tower. In the process, though, topside has gone down.
And credit to Viper for getting so much damage done. Both top laners TP'd in, and Viper got like 8 times the damage output, so kudos on that side. And the game is within spitting distance, 1,800 gold. Not bad, actually. Sorry, 2,800 gold. Still pretty rough, but math is hard once in a while. A little shameful there, but still possible for FlyQuest to this one around. They've got that extra Drake on their side. They're only 8 minutes away from Soul.
And more so than like gold in the bank is items in the tank. Look at these Trinity Forces completed. It's a 2-item power spike here for Zven on the Ezreal. Ezreal is one of the highest damage output overall 4 games for the marksman role because you get to poke so much. You know, and with the buffs, the compensation buffs for attack speed for Ezreal, and you know, with the new lethal tempo version, you really can dish it out. So big 2-item power spike for Zven, who's been a huge carry for this Cloud9 team. Feels like him and Nisqy are well positioned to dish it out, and it puts more importance on the FlyQuest engaged members that we mentioned earlier, trying to find those pockets of fog of war to get flanks off.
I like that ult, actually, just to zone out PowerOfEvil and help guarantee the turret goes down. It's a pretty short cooldown, well done by Blaber, as they send Zven topside for some farm, and C9 keeps playing the mid game pretty securely here. A little bit of a more frontline focused build for Blaber, right? Didn't go Slork Shoes, went for the more durable options. I'm looking
for some Blaber plays, Freak. He's got the Zonias, he's got a flash ready too.
Almost Licorice plays, but it's ult to run away. Viper gonna find some more knockups and actually forces the flash out in the 1v1. Props to Viper.
That will be down for the next dragon as well, and that will be Soul Point Dragon for FlyQuest. Once you bump up to 3, could get some little bit of extra pressure. I guess Cloud, Soul, not the biggest moment, but it is super nice for Syndra. Definitely a point of power for them to try and play around that burst damage.
Power overall, you can't run away from the Blitzcrank. That's going to be a lot of damage in the flash kick. They go in for Vulcan, and he is gone. A ward hop away, Santorin. He's gonna get away. What a setup. Blaber can't find Viper either, and FlyQuest tie up the kills.
All right, side lanes are pushing too, so this is critical. Cloud9 had done the setup work. They've got top wave already in, and Licorice taking a tower on bottom side while they went for that skirmish. So FlyQuest, they do get their kill. They strike quickly, and Santorin's able to get out with his life, but Cloud9 still finds something in the process.
Yeah.
And that's why we emphasize setup work so much for these mid-game plays, because even if something does go bad for you in the skirmish, you can get something in exchange.
Yeah. I mean, I know a lot of people like to credit Cloud9 for good team fighting, and don't get me wrong, it is very good, but this is a game where they were equal in kills, and yet up 4,000 gold with all the turrets taking down the extra farm. That is setup work, as you're saying. That is I mean, in a very basic term, macro. That is making the right choices, being in the right places, and catching what your opponents cannot. So really big stuff right there. As you can see, the gold difference has basically steadily been growing the entire game long.
This is what we're used to seeing with Cloud9 games. Starting out with early skirmish victories into controlling later objectives. Man, FlyQuest really trying to make use of this control ward on the side brush, but Zven and Vulcan, two of the slipperiest.
Forces the flash, Blaber feints to pretend he might have gone for it, Turtle at half HP, and suddenly mid lane control goes to Cloud9, but a hook comes in. That is Vulcan who pops the stone plate, finds a slow. IgNar's at half now as well without Aftershock available. Here comes the flank play now for the top laners. They're all coming in to try to push down Licorine. But first, IgNar's gonna die. Ult comes across, builds some space, knocked back in Santorin. And Otto can't quite kill him, but Nisqy can certainly take down Turtle. And that is a sleep coming through. That is pushing down Viper. 3-0 to Cloud9. The Cloud Drake is there, and so is the mid lane.
C9 do it again. They're playing this poke comp so well. You can hear the crowd gasp every time Nisqy lands a paddle star. You get a big paddle star onto IgNar, you get another big one onto WildTurtle there, and then FlyQuest have no options. Each of those combos landing from Nisqy is 50% of a FlyQuest member's health, and then once C9 know they have the advantage after chunking 2 members down, they go for the follow-up.
And look at that. If they win this game, Cloud9 lock playoffs in the beginning of week 6. Oh, nicely done right there. The chance at 11-0 already being secured in the postseason. Looking to play around this. Santorin does have smite and almost has the kick. So C9 disengaged. Now Viper gets away from the bubble, but he's still going to take a little bit of damage on the way out. This could be the re-engage. He pops the ult, finds the knock. If Nisqy spit back out, Vulcan's got to be careful. Pulled right back in. Big damage. Viper healing, just barely gets away, but has to burn the flash for it. C9 running out of health. No regen there. Going to disengage this fight.
Couple of good pokes there. They don't quite pull in for the extra kill, but FlyQuest are able to defend the Baron for now. Here's another look at how it started out. Look at this Zoe here. Goes in for another chunk onto IgNar. Right after the Aftershock falls off, it's able to land. And that's previously WildTurtle was the victim of the same combo. Then with the Licorice over here trying to win that 1v1, they're able to chase him on down, and Nisqy lands the second combo onto Turtle, taking the kill for him. It's just Cloud9 sweeping through.
And look at that smile on the face of Nisqy. One of the front runners of MVP this season. Pretty much anyone on Cloud9 could be that. As they are poised to go 11-0 and take control. Yeah, Nisqy, he's still on the screen. What an attractive man. What a great mid laner. Most damage in the game.
Keep going, Freak.
He is not French, but Belgian.
True.
Ovely, take notes.
Nisqy facts.
Yep. Turkish heritage.
What play do you most remember Nisqy for?
That bubble right there.
I have a weird
remember
answer.
in perfect clarity.
Okay, so Freak has a recency bias.
Yes.
For me, it was Envy when he first came over to North America, and he actually played Lucian and got this big kill onto Bjergsen, and they were playing against TSM, and it really got him a lot of notoriety here because TSM's so popular, and Envy was having a rough time.
Yep. Yeah, I remember Envy was a 10th place team. Nisqy joined. They went to playoffs.
Yep.
The very next play. That was the only roster change. And now maybe wins an LCS title. Of note, Cloud9, the only LCS roster without an LCS champion on it. Or even a split champion in any of the other leagues. Ooh, that is flashed down from Vulcan. Nice hook there for IgNar.
All right, Cloud9 trying to play 1-1 at the moment. They have the super safe Ezreal Tahm Kench in the mid lane, along with the jungler. Nisqy floating around top side to try and clear it. They don't have a lot of vision for him to work with, but look at the ultimate Abyssal Voyage.
Right on top of 3 of them. Big damage across. He saves Zven. Vulcan's a half HP. And now an explosive cast. Could be another setup, but they can't quite find the rest of the damage. Ulti burn, never gonna walk away.
Yeah, Cask actually splits PoE and IgNar and knocks PoE away from a possible paddle star there from Nisqy. It's going to be a disengage, and FlyQuest, their #1 priority right now is trying to keep wards on this Baron and in this jungle leading up to the Baron. You can see with this vision toggle, they're using everything they have to try and fight and keep this clear. It's so scary when you have these bubbles coming through over all these walls.
Yeah. Basically 2 decent wards that affect the game state. The waves keep being pushed in. Hurricane in for Turtle. He's had that for a while. Rage Blade is next up. He's halfway there. That'll be nice for him when he finally gets through onto that one. That'll be a really big power spike. He can start taking down frontline pretty well with it. But right now, C9 still setting up the top river. They got close to Baron last time, but FlyQuest pushed them off. This 5,000 gold lead, though, might continue their map control.
And for me, if I'm calling for Cloud9, I say make the safe play right now. You keep enough pressure on FlyQuest simply by having the controller on Baron. So they should be able to just play it slow. Don't start the Baron. Just take your Dragon when it arrives. They don't have to push anywhere in right now. Wait for the 35 seconds to get your third Cloud Drake. Ensure that you have the possibility of acquiring Soul later if something goes drastically wrong. Before they really try and get one of those picks around the Baron. Simply by controlling the vision here, you put FlyQuest on edge.
And they're going to push down the mid lane yet again. Trying to push FlyQuest on edge as they could take a big stun, but as the Tom Kent is right there, Zven is not in danger. Poke puts PoE at half HP, and there's the pushback. Turtle's got to get away, just barely does. Now Blaber is in danger. This could be won by FlyQuest if they have the damage. Nisqy gets away from the chains, and now Licorine wants to chase forward. Bubble not quite going to land. PoE gets down low again. Ult comes across. Licorine wants to set it up, and Zven comes in for the killing spree. Viper is forced to run, and they can find all the damage they need. That's going to be the double kill in for the AD carry. Once again, right on the Drake. Number 3 goes through for Cloud9 with 2 more kills on top.
Cloud 11-0 might be a reality pretty quickly here, Freak. That's third Dragon for them setting up for the Soul, plus it will be Baron.
Yeah.
They may very well just end the game before the Soul even comes up. Red buff fight here, actually. WildTurtle's able to sneak it away before Cloud9 move in for the Baron. It will be a very small consolation prize, but maybe they can get some sort of miracle steal here. I do see Santorin working around the top side. There's a lot of Cloud9 vision to get through, though.
Cloud 11-0, Cloud playoffs. It's not a number, but it's still a reality for this squad as Baron comes over. Blaber picks it up, and this is a nearly unassailable lead.
All right, once again, FlyQuest trying to make something happen by pushing up the mid lane so they can move in towards the Dragon. Nisqy comes in, gets a big chunk onto PoE, but not the bubble to follow up. Blaber's commitment there onto Turtle gets him very low, but they actually don't finish him off. So that's why you're saying, oh, FlyQuest, they still have a chance in this fight. Then it's the re-engage. Licorice just charges through, and PoE gets sectioned off down here in the bottom half. When you get this Licorice ulti, it actually forces PoE in the other direction, allowing Zven and Nisqy to chase him down. They finish off the extra kill. Nobody can get away from Cloud9. The chase is there. And now we're back out onto the map with the purple buff. Yep. Very easy for this team comp to siege up. Ezreal, Zoe, just keep throwing out your spells, and your cannon minion buffed up by the Baron will do its work.
C9 has never lost to Baron, all split long. Tends to happen when you win by so much, and you've pretty much never had a deficit past 20 minutes in your life. As Cloud9 push down for bottom tier 2. Their 4th turret to kill. No contest here. Not going to find the crowd control just yet, but they're ready to keep pushing forward. Looking at the inhibitor turret now as IgNar is ready with the squad. C9 sits on the right-hand side, so the minions are in the way. Blaber, though, jumps away to not get pulled, and the turret's going to fall down there as well. Zven feels safe to walk forward. Gets away from the Sonic Wave, and that is inhibitor gone already. 32 minutes in. The stun, though, that's damage on the Licorice. PoE dropped a bit low. Q comes out, almost went down to the ultimate. Is there a re-engage? Anything to be had? Not going to land the poke as Cloud9 walk away and look to lick their wounds.
Missile Voyage over to mid lane as well. They can push up, try and get another secondary turret for themselves. Let's see. No teleport on Licorice, so they don't want to force too hard while he's away. You got to look at it from FlyQuest's perspective, though. They're so far down right now. Any opening you jump on at the moment to try and get a pull, try and get a miracle kill.
And that is the turret going down. FlyQuest have not found that opening. They have not found that miracle. As the wards go away, the poke lands. Nisqy! That was the opening! PoE with a max damage build, lands the ulti and takes down the opposing mid.
Really, really big kill to put a stop to the siege with the Baron buff. You have to count your wins. You know, there's a lot the FlyQuest have to do to get back in this game, but taking down the Zoe is at the top of the list, Freak. Baron buff should time out now. They would only have 30 more seconds, one more wave to work with, and FlyQuest still have inhibitors up in mid and top. one is doable to try and deal with. Once you start getting them stacked up, it becomes very, very difficult. But look at this. Every little bit of damage helps. Santorin even landing the Q. PoE got his good ult off. That's enough to finish Nisqy even after returning.
Without an ult, he chunks Licorice to half HP. I do think that a build like this, by the way, Death Cap second and Avoid third, is just a lot of damage in kind of all cases. It's very generalist. You're very good at killing almost any target you go for. I think it's very efficient. One of the best options you can go for, especially as a burst mage who can't wait for something like Leandries to stack up. Love that build on Syndra. It's going to go well for him. If you really want to max damage, you go for a Spellbinder next. It's 120 ability power. Times 1.4 because Death Cap. That is very one-shot.
I also really like the speed on Spellbinder.
Yeah.
Syndra, you can see the really good Syndras get those little bits of mispositioning sometimes. But if you can get the angle on your stun to get those double stuns, or a team-wide stun for putting down some good Qs and then getting the right angle, that can actually pull you back in some of these games where you need a big miracle play. If you stun up the Zoe and the Ezreal, you'll put a stop to so much of the damage output from this team and give your team a chance.
Taking over the jungle yet again is Cloud9 as their teammates respawn in 20 seconds on Cloud Soul is the name of the game right now. FlyQuest almost assuredly will have to contest that bottom river.
All right, it's becoming even more difficult too because not only do Cloud9 have Tahm Kench, but both the Tahm Kench.
Half health on Viper, the pull on into set. Big damage has the shield. Dunks to the side, puts in the damage, and that's going to be one kill picked up. That's going to be a second. They don't need the Drake. They just need to engage on the mid lane. And that's now 3 of FlyQuest running for the hills, trying to defend. Viper cannot find a single one, though, as Licorice puts in another stun, and they find their 4th kill. It is PoE left alone. It's the power of Cloud9 going 11-0 and locking a spot in the playoffs at the start of Week 6. The Nexus will fall, and no one comes close to beating Cloud9.
They get the power dive. They get the extra kill, Freak. And not a single team has been able to even put a dent in this C9.